So what you want? Every day I struggle with it. Only God could jump me slipping. I'm infinitely big through the genesis. Dead presidents, drop a gem on it. Earth, these the last days. Throw your get money, quiet storm. Have it stars. For the cream, renegade. For the money, only green is the. I'm a player on the late night tips. So these see the prototype. Fingertips, reservoir dog. Check the skull, ignorant. Can I live? Still film it, kiss the death, friend protect your neck. Three boys in the Cadillac, grave digger, kiss the death, friend protect your neck. Shame on the three boys.
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. With that, let's get over to the Mercedes-Benz Superdome with the call from New Orleans. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened back in 1975, there's a look inside the iconic Mercedes-Benz Superdome in downtown New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in 0-3 and in desperate need of a win.
And as a team, you start to feel a little bit snake bit. They need something good to happen right now so they know it's not just them. They think they have the makings of a good team.
On the other side of the field for the visiting Raiders, they've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnist write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. The numbers for him from a week ago: 15 carries, 113 yards, and a score.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a first down throw. Kelly trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Allen, the intended receiver. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 21 carries, 89 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Finding room to the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans! Saints have taken the early lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They go play action here on 1st down. They'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. Charles Harris in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. And the pressure gets to him again.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. A play fake. Now Kelly. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll take this all the way down to the 15-yard line. A huge gain of 40 yards on the 3rd down conversion.
When the big guy rumbles down the center of the field and he gains leverage on a guy trying to cover him, it is really, really tough for the defender to get through him to make a play on the football. That's why guys love to throw that route. Down the middle, throw it deep, and let the big guy go get it.
And he stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Now that's the type of play that'll fire up a defense. Hold them to 1 yard on a 1st down run. It'll be interesting to see if the offense decides to press the run at all, or if they'll abandon it now after gaining only 1 on that play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, look at the juke. And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
Inside the red zone, and that means don't come away from there with anything less than 3 points, but everyone's thinking about 6. They're trying to get to the end zone. They decide to run a toss. Big people up front being mobile and moving, and a running back trying to follow behind them to find yardage, and that's exactly what he did.
Here we go. Grand 38. Grand 38. Flex round. Flex round.
Now Kelly on 3rd and 2. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Evan Ingram, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have, and you absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive, they've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Back to throw here. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Here we go. Green 39.
They're going to look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Coverage there by Von Bell.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive, that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. It doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Let's go. What?
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Come on, let's go.
Looking to throw on 2nd. Here's Kelly. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 42 yards.
Similar to a slant, it's all about timing when you're throwing a crossing route. Quarterback and receiver have to be in sync, and when they put it on them just right and catch it full speed, running through a defense, can often result in a big pickup of yardage.
Here we go. Grand 38.
Now they'll run it on the toss. will take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run. And one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And they've got it here with a first down. 1 quarter down. 14-7 is the score. We'll head back to New Orleans after this. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now let's go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the
First down.
conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And they'll run it here. And he's got about 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 25.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Now let's go. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Looking for Gronkowski, and he's got him complete. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Gronk's first catch, good for a first down.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Now they'll run it on the toss. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. And they'll go on the ground. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd down, Kelly. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Raiders add on to their lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call it in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those 2 elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Here's Ryan Quigley now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Taken in at the 11. And he spins away. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Raiders offense, they get set to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He'll take this from the 40 up to the 45 for a gain of 5.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Let's go! Brand 38! Brand 38!
On third down, that's Williamson. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Play action, it's Kelly. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And he'll be down deep into New Orleans territory. 1 minute, 53 ticks left to go in this first half. We're back to New Orleans after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. 5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Here we go!
He'll get it up the middle. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. It's the fullback. His first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. And that's why you have the fullback, Charles. Couldn't get it in the play before with a smaller guy. Turned to a little more power. They score it.
And now it has to warm the hearts of a lot of old-school football fans. They love when they get to see a little bit of power football.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out is the Saints offense now as they get ready to take over here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards. It moves the sticks. They'll look to throw now on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Ball on the 42 as they come up second and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on second and 10. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. The Saints on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go now.
Now back to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Here we go now. Blue line it. Blue line.
He'll drop to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things.
Now let's go. Green.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10.
Hurry up. Here we go. Green.
They'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Thomas. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, this from 34. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, this from 34. And Gostkowski's kick is good. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined it.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not a whole lot doing there, so he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Raiders out in front as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll begin out in Houston, and it's the Texans out in front as that one is just about to halftime. Andrew Luck has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head over to Hotlanta to check out the Falcons at home at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. Carson Wentz has thrown a couple of touchdown passes there. Finally, we head to the shores of Lake Erie. See what's going on with the Cleveland Browns. In that game, all square as they take on the visiting Cowboys. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is. Right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Here we go now.
On third down, it's Bryant, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
Back to throw now on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Howard. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he's got this down to the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And this is taken in at the 5. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. Give him 30 yards there. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people play.
And he's got it. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. As his guys are in for 6. And the Saints get a bit closer. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you know, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. He'll wind up getting two there as he does it himself and picks up the first.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90!
Now this time he'll look to throw. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider first down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Face mask. Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
Let's go! White 90! White 90!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, and sometimes that just happens. It is the NFL. They will make some plays against you.
Here we go!
To throw on 2nd down, Kelly steps away to his left. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
Kelly on 3rd down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. David Irving able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a 2nd time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that 2nd score here in the 3rd quarter. They go play action here on 1st down. Looking long for Thomas, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
this defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll run it here. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Green.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll look to throw. And he's got an open man. It's Gronkowski. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. It'll be a pickup of 4. Good enough to earn him yet another 1st down.
So how would you describe that one, partner? Workmanlike right there, getting that 1st down, blue-collar type football?
Yeah, only needed 3, got 4. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the 4th quarter of play. 2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
Gun. Here we go now. Blue 90.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Howard. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard,
Gronkowski's going to go! And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Green 39.
They'll set up a throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
The Saints on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 16.
Set. Blue 90.
They're going to look to throw. And the Raiders have got him. Aaron Donald in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more.
The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
Let's go.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Looking to throw on second. Here's Kelly. They're looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, a 22. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they'll go on the ground. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. The Raiders on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there, and now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Let's go! White 90! White 90!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense.
Holding offense.
So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Back to throw here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Did they maybe play that too safely on 3rd down? I know you don't want to just throw a ball blindly downfield, but that didn't help them a whole lot.
I think they probably said if it's open, take the shot. If not, get something safe, because we do have 4th down to try and pick it up.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. So out come the Raiders. But they can thank their defense for another stop. And now look at the score, where they've got the football. They're looking pretty good.
They're looking excellent, because now you're thinking to yourself, let's just take some time off the clock. Work it down. And, of course, you put another touchdown on the board, you pretty much say bye-bye to this one.
Play calling here can be a little bit more conservative because of the lead.
A little bit more conservative. The biggest thing, everyone understands how to get the ball downfield and how to stay in bounds and make sure the clock keeps running. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal. Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Here we go. What? 90.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. And give him 5 that time as they draw a bit closer here for a 2nd and goal. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover, because one more score, and this game's over.
Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total.
Here we go.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame. The crowd here in the Dome making things difficult. 3rd and goal.
Here we go.
It's a quarterback sneak. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. It's their quarterback with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year. And the Raiders add on to their lead. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here." do something some other time, but some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Looking to throw. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's third down now.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe you can expect more passes like that downfield. Back to throw. Looking for Gronkowski, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 38, and he'll bring this one back to the 29. Gronkowski, the intended target. Both defenses have had their struggles, but they've been good enough to get them this lead, and another nice play there to help preserve the lead.
It's been a game of punch-counter-punch, hasn't it? All throughout. But this time, the big swing was taken, and it didn't land. Nice play by them on defense.
And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get this one down to about the 27. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 8.
Let's go. What? 90.
And they'll run it here. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. A good gain there on 3rd and 8 of 7 yards. And now a decision here on 4th and 1.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But if the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes a timeout, and now we're set to get going. And they won't run a play here, no victory formation. They will indeed try to get 3 more. This will be a 37-yard attempt. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Raiders, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll return home next week to take on the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Tampa to take on the Bucs. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports.
Baby, could you? I got too much on my mind right now. I ain't got